It looks like we now have Charlie Stewart joining us. So Charlie is the VP of e-commerce supply chain at Walmart Canada. Charlie leads the e-commerce operations, supply chain and contact center teams. He joined Walmart in 1998 with Asda UK, looking in store operations, and has now spent the last 10 years or so focused on online grocery in the UK, in the US, and most recently in Canada, leading the business from strategy all the way through to operation. Charlie's going to be talking to us today about retail disruption and engaging with the online consumer in the new normal. How are you doing today, Charlie?
I'm doing great, Sarah, thank you.
Well, thank you so much for joining. I know that you're in Canada. I'm in the UK. We just had a speaker from the UK as well, and now you're also originally from the UK. So we're on a nice roll so far with giving some perspectives from this side of the pond.
Yeah, I think firstly apologising to the team. We have went around the UK. We went England, Ireland, and now Scotland. I've been in Canada now for just over 6 years, so I like to think my accent has softened, but in the current pandemic of wearing a mask, I now realise that my accent hasn't, because a lot of people still struggle to, I think, understand me, especially when I start to speak quick.
Well, we're really excited to hear from you today, so over to you.
Thank you. So firstly, Sarah, thank you for the invite. Great to speak to the group online today. I think what's interesting as we go forward, you know, we're going to look at, you know, how retail continues to change. You know, we heard from Dominic around a specific commodity within retail. Hopefully what I can give you is a bit of an insight from Walmart and Walmart Canada, where the customer goes, something that continues to lead our initiatives, it continues to lead what we do, is around what the customer's doing and where they're there. What changes have we made to support customer experience, which I'm sure some of you will have saw if you shop our brand and our services within either in bricks and mortar or online. And then understanding the new customer demands and giving you some insight into, you know, what we're seeing, what we are doing to serve our customers in a different way, but also with some lens around, you know, without the crystal ball, what does the next even 6 to 12 months look like? And I can give you some insights to what we can share at this point on where we're going and what's next for Walmart Canada. So I think the first piece is, you know, what just happened. You know, we heard from Sarah earlier in the morning, talking about some of the information that, you know, she got from IGD, you know, where the customers are and where they're moving to. But, you know, retail has saw disruption, and Walmart is no different from that, and what we've experienced before. Everything from panic buying to changing how the customer shops, and we'll get into a bit more of the data that we've saw here in Walmart. And every category, especially with, you know, the channel shift to online grocery, and we will double click into online grocery, as I'm sure some of you are probably interested in the insight that we have and what we've seen within Walmart. As a business, we saw customer concern. You know, health becomes one of the largest pieces. I think when we think about, you know, not only our own health, our family's health, our community's health, and how that, you know, transmission of COVID-19 has changed, you know, the environment that we live, we work, and when we can play in, as well as evolved very, very differently. Through the supplier community, again, we know that, you know, you guys have also experienced some challenges there, and that's looking after your own associates, looking after, you know, your teams, being able to social distance in the workplace to continue to produce some of the fantastic products and goods that you guys serve us across all these categories. And the speed of reaction, I think, was impressive across every part of retail, and how we all learned as we went through, let's call it phase 1 of COVID, how we continued to look at, you know, potential labour shortages, what we did there, how we evolved. Again, Sarah spoke earlier about how Walmart Canada, you know, we very quickly had to, you know, resource up to almost, you know, 10,000 additional associates based on a total workforce of around 94,000 at that time. So that took us back over the 100,000 employees and associates that we have here in Walmart Canada. And that alone is no mean feat. You know, I'm sure you can, you know, attach that to your own business in terms of as a percentage, if you were to increase your workforce by 10%, how much of an effort that would be. And then as we think about now into phase two of COVID, which, you know, either across the globe, there may be further ahead, certainly as you look towards Europe, as we look towards our kind of partners in the South and the US and LATAM and South America as well, obviously brings different phases to where we're at and how we're reacting to it. I think what has also made me very proud, actually, as I now live in Canada, I think when you look across different countries, which is then there, I think, as you know, overall, without getting too political, I think the government, I think as a nation, how Canadians have reacted to this, I think everybody that is a Canadian should be incredibly proud of and how we've reacted. You know, our stores will continue to look different, and again, I'll share a video later on in the presentation just to show you a bit about what we're doing with stores, and I'll give you some insight into how that continues to be a focus for us. I think in terms of the pandemic, in terms of everything you heard from Sarah earlier, everything, you know, Dominic spoke to, stores are not going anywhere, I think is the reality. Dominic mentioned the A word that in Walmart we don't like to say, you know, Amazon. The Amazon effect, I think of maybe 10 years ago, everyone thought it was the death of the bricks and mortar operation. But I think very quickly after Amazon bought Whole Foods, we saw that, you know, that they were even thinking about how they kind of diversified and being a pure play online retailer was not necessarily setting them up either for success. And again, that brings us nicely, I think, back into the online grocery sphere where Amazon have continued to play with different things in the grocery world. I think they continue to, in my own, just based my own opinion, they continue to struggle to make that grocery side work. But this is where, again, we believe Walmart across the international 26 markets that we operate in, that it does give us a real opportunity to not only be part of that as a service to our customers, but actually to lead when you look at our grocery offering, whether it be, you know, Asda in the UK, which, you know, in terms of an online grocery has been effectively 23 years mature, so probably the most mature market we have in the Walmart family, through to, you know, some of the real, you know, crazy kind of growths that we've seen again across the globe in all the markets that we are working in. So, tripping category behavior. I'm sure you've seen some of this data before, but hopefully some of it shows some good insight. You know, bricks and mortar retail has saw larger baskets, and then we have saw in the online and the e-commerce world as well. Customers are making fewer trips to the stores, and because of that, and especially what I learned very, very quickly in Canada, you know, customers were happy to go to, you know, a certain plaza and shop a few different stores in terms of I get my, you know, produce here, my fresh meat here, and maybe my dry grocery pantry here. And then you would obviously have the general merchandise side of the business. Where Walmart has really, I think, kind of flourished through the pandemic is that, you know, how we set ourselves up initially from Sam Walton's days, you know, we were very clear around having that one-stop shop of being able to shop most categories that you would want within our stores. That has really set us up well, both I see in the brick side and in the online side. And the engagement with our customers has been really great. You know, we have reacted quickly, whether that be plexiglass, whether that be all the other safety measures we put in store. But what it's meant is customers have been able to come to a Walmart store and shop every one of their needs. I think Dominic, you know, gave some numbers around home lines, hard lines, electronics as well, I think in terms of the e-commerce and the brick side. But again, within Walmart, we've seen some fantastic growths as everybody has shipped more to, you know, work from home, study at home with homeschooling and their kids. This online grocery world has again impacted shopper behavior even beyond the channel itself. And again, I'll talk to a bit more about how we've reacted to that and what's there. But, you know, again, Sarah mentioned earlier some of the numbers that we are seeing in terms of category behavior specific to online grocery. We've seen anywhere as high as 12 to 13x growth, and that's year-on-year growth in a business that was already, you know, we were growing well over 2x here in Canada. So that's put that into some sort of perspective where the shopper has moved to. And what, again, within that, the online grocery component has grown massively within Walmart Canada. And we We're excited by it. We've been speaking to some of the supplier communities recently about that monumental shift, which I'm sure some of you have been part of some of the conversations with our merchant teams. But I think what's really exciting is I think it gives us continued faith in the strategy that we had. Again, thinking of some of the previous presentations, I think it was Sarah mentioned, we've grown between 3 to 5 years. I think we had lofty ambitions, so maybe our growth has not been 3 to 5 years, but we believe certainly the first 2 to 3 months of the pandemic, we've moved certainly 2 to 3 years and what we'd set ourselves, which again was incredibly lofty and high targets to achieve. So again, some of the stats that you're seeing there, again from Kantar, 68%, people bought groceries since March, which again, and we'll talk a bit more about the friction and what we're doing in Walmart to alleviate that friction. But what we've also seen is actual customer surprise and surprise and delight, we call it here, is that they've came to Walmart, shopped to service, and been incredibly well received in terms of the service they've received. And that's everything of kind of 4 measures that we look at. We look at fast, we look at friendly, we look at fresh, and we look at full. And across those 4 parameters, what that's allowed us to do is to especially our new customers who've came and shopped with us, is deliver a very good service. And as a result, again, allowed us to continue to build solutions for the future. So as I said, online grocery shopping is significantly changing, grocery shopping beyond the online behavior. So again, what we saw is, and some of these numbers that we've got, 91% of customers have said they've changed how they shop. And really interestingly, 87% of customers have said that they've changed where they shop. Again, thinking about where we find ourselves, thinking about how we think about the Canadian landscape. Some would say we're already in a recession. Some would say, potentially into next fiscal year, again, the recession will hit and maybe hit harder. When you think of the socioeconomic position we find ourselves here in Canada, I would say, a lot of occasions, certainly in Walmart, we take zero pleasure in any of our competition struggling. And that goes across many of the categories, whether it be pure play apparel, you've seen, even before COVID, Sears, we believe the market is stronger with good competition. And we really, really mean that. And by that, I think, especially in the online grocery world, you can see and how we shop and where it's there. I think there's a trust piece. And again, I said, I'll come back to around about friction and trust with our customers for online grocery and what's important from a service proposition. But again, for the CPG guys online, the product and the importance of quality and the importance of trust in that brand and product also becomes incredibly important when you're not actually in the store picking and packing it yourself. So thinking about what that does to the shopper, what it means to certainly Walmart as a brand. We've been able to capture customers who maybe previously would not have came and shopped Walmart. We are fully able to accept, that in terms of brand perception, especially because of our everyday low cost and everyday low price mission and message, sometimes that can be misconstrued by customers. And something, again, I become very passionate about is we go to, maybe with friends or parties and people ask, who you work for, what do you do, and how you found yourself in Canada. The immediate reaction when you say you work for Walmart, it can either be positive in some occasions, but also in some other occasions, it can be, the produce quality is not good or something else. And again, something I think when you're in the industry, you understand a lot of occasions we buy it from the same supplier, from one of our competitions, but also something I'm very passionate about, that, how we continue to fight brand perception. And what that behavior and what this has changed is we've seen a great perception change. Social media becomes incredibly important for us, especially in the online world, as I'm sure it does for you guys, is that online, comments we've had, simple things like, they were wowed by the quality of produce and fresh meat. And then there's some of the kind of crazy parts of it. They'll say it was picked from a warehouse. It wasn't picked from a store, when our current model as we execute is everything has been picked from a store. So again, you can see how the work that our stores are doing to enable this. We do talk about them as enablers in our operations in our stores and how it drives that customer perception improvement. So across these 3 pillars, I'm going to cover just now, just in terms of the overall shopping component, and then I'll come back to the category routines and the in-store experience, as I say, slightly later in the presentation. But what you're seeing here is a real change that we've said in terms of customer behavior. And in terms of that, we've clearly attracted new customers to Walmart through not only our own Walmart.ca platform, but through our strategic partners. You heard Dominic giving us some insight from the UK around Deliveroo, etc. But we have got two clear strategic partners here in Canada, which I'm sure you'll be aware of, which is Instacart and Cornershop. I think firstly in Instacart, it is a bit of a North American behemoth in the online side. But what we've been able to do is make them that they are part of something of our ecosystem. We have been very clear around how we partner with them, what we do with them, and again, how it helps other Walmart customers shop with us when and how they need to shop with us. And it also gives us lots of learnings and what our future looks like and how in terms of customer behavior. But again, I think another key part for us as we went through the pandemic, Instacart gave us that immediate release valve, especially in capacity, as we hired those new associates, as every retailer was getting to grips with this. Instacart was a great outlet for us, and they continue to be a great partner for us, and it continues to grow. I think the other pieces on Cornershop, you will all be aware, they were purchased by Uber. So when you look at all of those great things around Uber and what they bring, everything from, I think most people have an Uber app when rideshare was more accessible and more of a thing pre-pandemic. But now as you start to see where as a kind of the gig economy is going, lots of noise, especially in the US around, right levels of pay, what the gig economy looks like in the future, which again, is up to those businesses to own. But again, we see them as real key partners to complement our services, to complement Walmart.ca, and to complement, our stores as well. So again, when customers need us, how they need us, how they want to be served, we want to, again, make that led by the customer value proposition, and that is led by the customer and what they tell us, rather than us, going down strategic routes that is not customer led. There's some pieces within here, we can talk about the cost economics of running some of these businesses, but I think it is then incumbent upon us as retailers, as yourselves as CPGs, that is then us to work that out and figure it out. If the customer leads us down the right path, I think as an overall kind of retail community, we can solve some of those problems that make, I think, some things really interesting and actually some things really exciting. So as we think about continuing to move forward, I spoke about fresh as part of online grocery. Forever and a day, we started online grocery here in Canada, Walmart Canada, just over 5 years ago. I talk about, the explosion that we saw. And interestingly, my first Canada Day, which was July 1st, 2015, yeah, which was, we didn't have an online grocery business here in Canada at that time. And I remember sitting it was torrential rain in Ottawa, where I was at the time, and thinking, what's going on? Have I done the right thing? And a big part of that was fresh perception. So when we think about the barriers to the basket and fresh categories, it does tie back, as we said here, around humanization. And it's something, again, it's been really interesting and what I'll speak later. And again, I think there was some great insight earlier, I think, from Sarah around the competition, and certainly from an online grocery perspective in Canada. You've got Sobeys and Voila, which is really interesting. They're making a big part of their marketing plan, talking about being picked by robots. Something that we are facing into, and we believe the customer, especially in a digital transaction where everything is in front of a laptop, an app, or otherwise. And really, where is the humanization piece of it? And especially when it comes to fresh, it's something that we know that, as you're picking product in stores, you're thinking about your family, who you're putting on the table for. You're thinking about, the quality of it, how long it will last, what meals you're going to make, becomes really, really important to a lot of customers. And we know it has been a barrier for a lot of customers to shop with us and to shop online grocery. And what that has seen is we've seen an organic growth then as the customer does shop with us. They've shopped initially maybe pantry and dry core grocery and ambient products. They've maybe shopped, as that goes further, then into more kind of hardy, kind of frozen, then into maybe onions, and more hardy vegetables before they get to soft fruits, berries, and lastly, fresh meat. So it's something that we've worked on in terms of insight and how we drive this. And you heard Dominic talking about where alcohol makes up, a considerable part of certainly the European basket. And we know obviously the challenges provincially and otherwise in terms of the sale of alcohol here. But, I would say looking at it as well in terms of a good barometer is that we've now got around about 80% of our baskets have fresh product in it, whether it be fresh meat or fresh produce or deli meat and cheese. So, as we think about, and again, as we continue to listen to our customers and we've continued to learn, these are some of the things that customers have been telling us. These are some of the things as across these 4 categories that, we've leaned into very, very hard. Say starting with produce, because we know it is a staple of your shop as a customer. We know it's something that's there. And again, I think what's been interesting is that as we've continued to listen to customers as we have, what we've been able to do is start to think about that surprise and delight. We've done a lot of it, and again, maybe with some of people even on the call, we've done some, kind of giveaways. We've done some kind of product promotion in terms of to show actually how good our quality is. And there was another piece that we did actually is with some of the customers as we, in the earlier days when we were acquiring a lot of customers, even as a channel shift from our bricks business, is that we had customers that would come into our store and we would be talking to them about online grocery. And whenever they did raise, fresh as that barrier, what we actually did is we said, do you have a shopping list for what you're shopping today? And we would actually buy the customer a coffee in the McDonald's or the Tim Hortons, and we would get one of our shoppers to go shop their order for them and actually give them insight into how we look after it. So for us, it's about more about that humanization rather than making it robotics. I'll talk later on again about more automation and digitization of what we do for the customer to help them make it more seamless and quicker. But in this vertical, I think it becomes really important that we humanize it, that we think about again how the customer's thinking about it, and what they're wanting to purchase. I think in the last column, in terms of the fresh prepared meals, being very, very open and honest, I think it's an opportunity we still have within the business. But, we've recently, for those of you that live in GTA, we've renoed our store in Thornhill, just outside the GTA. And you can go there and you can see some of it, how we are changing in some of our newly refreshed stores, whether it be, sandwiches, sushi, more of these kind of prepared kind of meals. You'll start to see lots more of that about being the store of the community. And Thornhill as well, a large kosher offering that again I was at in terms of this morning when we launched that store. So as we think about fresh prepared, and again I can't remember, someone mentioned it earlier, we are cooking more at home today. And again, we are humans and we forget sometimes. I think we're animals, and I think some of this will stick. As we get into habits, and habits again are hard to make, but they're also hard to break. And I think we will see more of the customers shopping with the online side in these kind of key categories, which if nothing else, again, continues to grow that element of where they are purchasing more often and purchasing with us. So what have we saw within Walmart? As much as it's been really difficult from 2019 to 2020, when we look at the growth in those key categories, customers have become either through needs as they went through the pandemic, but what we have seen, and it came through within our customer satisfaction scores very loud and clear, is that from a fresh perspective, that we are doing a good job. But I think what is also very clear from us, as always in Walmart, is we never take the foot off the gas. We are continuing to think about how we evolve our fresh offering. We are continuing to think about how we not only increase our offering within the building, and actually our pickup and our delivery services will start to become more agnostic of product. So we think about online grocery as the key piece, as it is truly through growth. But again, back to that one-stop shop, is that on walmart.ce today, you can now order your apples for your lunchbox and order your Apple iPad. So when you think about the diversification of categories, how that helps growing it. But again, as customers order these products weekly, they can also order either their more considered shop, they can order a more considered shop for delivery, they can order it to be shopped in an hour, or they can book it for up to 21 days out. So again, as we continue to evolve the customer need and the customer reaction to how they want to shop and when they want to shop, without that crystal ball that I mentioned earlier on in the presentation. So Encouraging more frequent shops is key. You've heard again, I think, some of the international pieces that I won't go across again, but within ourselves and Walmart and operating 26 countries, we have the real leverage of being able to take the best and the brightest from across the globe and bring it to each individual country, with the understanding that each individual country will have various nuances, whether that be the labour market, whether that be the demand, whether that be the size of population. And something, again, I learned incredibly quick, we're the second largest landmass country in the globe with the 38th largest population. So within that brings, many challenges in terms of how we serve our customers, how expensive it is to serve our customers. But as I said, I think the journey for us is to solve for that for the customers so that we can serve them incredibly well and keeping them at the forefront of what we do. So I think, just picking out Canada, Sobeys, again, I think it was mentioned earlier, but their partnership with Ocado, whether it be in terms of mechanization, obviously, and automation, you've got Loblaws, partnering with Takeoff Technologies in terms of their automated FC, which is just kind of north of Vaughan. But again, we've got multiple things going on that I'm sure you'll be able to work out yourself in terms of what's going on in the US with a clear partnership there. Obviously, myself coming from the UK, bringing some of the pieces that we're doing in the UK that, again, just continues to look at the market growing. And I think by the market growth, I think helps each other in terms of our competition. I said, but it really leans into confidence in that growing market. The other part I think that's important is how do we get that stickiness? And I just want to show you a couple of things that we're doing in terms of stickiness. So, our Walmart Rewards MasterCard, again, back to the socioeconomic piece, we've leaned in very hard here. One, yes, it drives, increased basket. Yes, it drives stickiness. It will drive customers to shop our services versus one of our competitors. But it is really about showing and how we can give back to the customers. And the millions of dollars that we've already given back to our customers who've shopped through our Walmart Rewards card has been staggering. But again, we've continued to evolve that. Customers can earn, you can see there 3% rewards instead of 1.25 by shopping with us. And it's something that, we do believe in fundamentally to our core on an everyday low cost. PC Optimum or any of these other types of services, I think we all know that you're being charged somewhere along the lines for it. So again, we want to remain clear and core to our beliefs, which is again is everyday low price and everyday low costs. And some of you may have a question around, we've recently removed ad match from our kind of pricing mechanic within Canada, which again has been very clear and intentional. We believe that actually we become far more open and clear to our customers in terms of everyday low price. We believe we can offer their full basket in their shop every day, every week, no matter where the flyer is, no matter where the supposed deal is. We believe that there is a real element of where actually customers become confused and actually don't know what the best value is. So, we are very proud of our price gap. We're very proud of what we're doing there. And again, I think it was a very bold move by us as an overall business to be one of the first major, retailers to remove ad match in the grocery world. The last couple of pieces before I can maybe take you to a video, some of the bits we're doing online. Our technology teams like to put code names to it. So the first thing you see on the far left is, in terms of making sure we give that what have you forgotten, and it was called "Don't Forget Your Bread" is what we kind of straplined it. So again, as you go through, as you build that personalization, we've made a change where we now require all our customers to sign in. Some of that you may think, well, why have that done? Why can't you check out as a guest? But what we're trying to show to our customers is actually the personalization that you can now have within the app and within the website becomes really important, again, to retaining a customer, gaining that stickiness and having them shop with us weekly versus our competitors. So, from left to right, you're seeing us say, don't forget your bread. Anything that was previously on your pre-orders or your previous purchases, we'll bring that up to you as you get to checkout. Again, hopefully, getting away from that time where it's, oh, damn, I forgot this or I forgot that. You've got your lists, you've got your previous purchases where, again, when customers, again, gave us feedback, it can take you up to maybe 30, 40 minutes to do your initial order. But again, as you think about scanning, barcodes, some of the other functionalities that's on the app, our app is now, being very well received. We've made a lot of enhancements to the app and how that really drives customer support and routine. The third one from the left is a new service we have, which is called mobile check-in. So again, we have, for those of you that shopped us, park and call, incredibly, simplistic. You pull up to the parking slot and you would phone the number and tell them that you're there. What this service gives is actually before you leave home or work or wherever you are, up to 45 minutes before your order is due to be picked up, we'll send you a push notification, or you can go into the app. You select check-in, keep the app open, running in the background, and we'll track your movements only for the purposes of that in terms of the shop. And then we'll know, and we'll be basically in the background preparing your order for you, so that when you arrive at the location, you'll pull up and you'll get this screen that you see in front of us, and it'll say, tell us which parking spot you're in, what colour is your car, and then we'll be right out. So that way, again, your wait time goes from 5 to 10 minutes, potentially, depending on the time of day where you are, to 30 seconds, or potentially, hopefully not in the winter. We don't want our associates standing in -40 in the snow, but in the summertime, you may even actually have an associate stood in the parking lot waiting for you. So again, how do we really make that simplistic? How do we make that a real differentiator for us by using technology to solve things for the customer? And then the last thing is just winning through events. Again, I said earlier, Walmart is proud of its legacy in terms of that one-stop shop. But how do we, you also get your Christmas gifts with your Christmas turkey, with, everything else you need, whether it be your ugly Christmas jumper or something else, which again then is also complemented by our marketplace, where we actually have now over 15 million additional items that are 3P items. Again, Dominic was mentioning Amazon. We know we won't be at Amazon. We're not going to try and fight Amazon there, but what again we're trying to do is offer our customers that piece of evolution in terms of the products that they can order for Walmart.ca. And then another piece that we really pride ourselves upon is, even with your shopping with a marketplace provider, is that we look after you in a very good way. We see you as still shopping with Walmart. So the last piece, again, Sarah mentioned $3.5 billion investment, whether it be in our stores, whether it be in our DCs. Again, we've recently announced our new DC in Vaughan, which the spade is in the ground. People and talent, again, is our fundamental core. We're really driving that. And then the infrastructure, capabilities, technology, and also more than 130 stores we will be renovating in the coming year, with a massive investment from our parent company, obviously Walmart Inc. But I think what this is a clear intention, and what I'll show you in a second, of where that omni-channel piece comes. Online grocery becomes a big part of that, I say, but how we actually just start to offer services and products to customers how and when they want it becomes really important. So let me show you this quick video that we have released recently on one of our new stores.
Just to let you know, we can't hear any sound. Charlie, there's no sound on this video. Is there meant to be sound?
In shopping what they want, how they want, and when they want.
Can you hear it now?
Our new Vaughan store is the most advanced Omni store in the country. This store has 10,000 square.
So very happy to be here in the new supercenter in the city of Vaughan. It's a grand opening, and actually it marks the most advanced store to be able to serve our stores in an omni way. It's not only going to serve the immediate trade area, but also it's going to take our products and services to an extended trade area through home delivery, and also the ability for customers to pick up their groceries or their GM items. It really showcases the options to access that our customers will have in shopping what they want, how they want, and when they want.
Our new Vaughan store is the most advanced Omni store in the country. This store has 10,000 square foot dedicated to our online experience. We have these dedicated coolers and freezers that allows us to pick some of our best-selling items, like the chicken that most of our customers love. Another unique feature is this dedicated area for our fresh produce. We are now in the staging area of our Omni warehouse. This area allows us to hold, pick, and dispense 8 times more orders than a regular store could do. We can exit right here and bring it out to your car. Using mobile check-in will allow you to get a contactless pickup experience in no time.
This is exciting because it's a leap into the future. This is not only about saving money, it's also about saving time, and in a safe way. To our associates, thank you for for making a difference, not only in this store that is a new store that we just opened and we're very excited, but really making a difference throughout Walmart Canada.
Sarah, did that play okay eventually?
Perfect.
Awesome. Thank you. Apologies for the, I was one click away from being flawless. So hopefully that gives you an insight into stores, again, how we really do value our store proposition, how that enables us to where we believe that the dark store concept, fewer SKU assortment, is maybe not the way to go. Again, back to my point, how do we make it agnostic of product? We want to do that. And it really takes us to kind of where do we go next? Everything you see in front of you here on the screen, I think we will all have certain parts of it that will mean something to us more than others. But I think in true Walmart fashion and what you probably see in a lot of the news articles and what's going on, we are really driving technology. We are driving some of the pieces that will come with us into the future. I think in terms of a large organization, which is maybe not necessarily represented in lots of large organizations, what I feel very fortunate to be as part of the business is an area where we can try, we can test, we can learn, and in some respects we can fail fast, learn again from that. There's a few sort of comments and topics. One of the leaders within this business, actually saw him on screen, Io, our CEO, and he says success is a lousy teacher. And I think that's very important in the e-commerce world as we think about, what is it we've tried, what is it that we can learn from, and in some terms, I say the pieces that maybe don't work so well teach us more than the stuff that as we continue to move forward that are continuing to either drive GMV or continue to drive, reduce cost, again, is also very important, but maybe not the best thing. So, we're thinking about the future. We're thinking about, what the competition's doing. But more importantly, as I said, we're looking at where the customer's going, where the customer needs us, especially as I say within Walmart Canada, we're very, very passionate. Our overall mission statement is saving Canadians money so they can live better, is fundamental and at our core and what we do. And the pandemic has only, I think, brought that home. Whether, you look at where we were delivering, grocery shopping to hospital workers during the peak of the pandemic, or any of these other different types of initiatives, we will lean in. Something, again, we're very proud of is all of our work that we do in terms of raising money for key charities across the Canadian landscape and making known that we are very Canadian. As much as we're part of, the US parent business, we are Canadian at our heart for Walmart Canada. As much as I'm not Canadian, I say I've been here 6 years, I do, love to, that I live here, and being involved in the Canadian businesses makes me very proud. So thank you, Sarah, for inviting me. Hopefully that's been interesting for the group, but lots of, I think, things for us to learn together as we go forward.
Oh, absolutely. That was really insightful. And I think we all learned some new things, especially with seeing how good the opportunity with the rewards card, with the new app that you've got out at the moment. So lots of things. And we are actually over your session, but we've had a few questions come in. So I think I'd like to ask at least one of those. And then, hopefully you'll be available on the platform for anyone that has any follow-up questions. Feel free they can send you messages. So
for sure.
I think I'll pick the one I think is the most interesting and maybe the most relevant, as we've seen with the dramatic increase in now. Have you seen any new pain points or new changes in where people are shopping? Maybe previously they were the more kind of motive shoppers. Now we've got a real variety. So what new learnings can you share with us from the shopper's point of view that the brands can really kind of help you with or work more closely with you to achieve?
Yeah, I don't think necessarily pain points, I would say, Sarah. I think it's just, again, the speed piece that again, why we leverage Instacart. I think customers now want and need things probably quicker than ever before. I think when we think about, again, the products that they want and when they need them as well. has been very kind of important for us. So I think the bit that we're actually already seeing, and again, depending on where you are in the country, if you're in St. Catharines and Niagara region within the GTA, or it's not the GTA, it's outside that ground, the Gordon Horseshoe, then you're able to order all the way throughout the day. So again, what we're doing is we're improving the ability, what we call click to pick up, is again shortening that time frame. And that is again really driving some efficiency. So not so much a pain point. We just know that the customer again is evolving quicker in some respects than retail is used to moving. But again, what we're trying to do is move as we can, either in step with the customer or try and predict some of those things where the need is quicker.
Okay, interesting. And as we know, more so in North America compared to Europe, people do tend to drive quite big and nice cars. So are you seeing more that people, even during the pandemic, is it more pickup or is it more home delivery? Like, what's the kind of the difference between the two with Walmart?
Yeah, both. I think it's been quite difficult to put them side by side as a comparison. What I would say is both have grown exponentially, dependent where you are in the country, obviously where we offer our service. Home delivery, currently Vancouver, Montreal, and the GTA directly with Walmart, but obviously with our partners of Instacart across 230 stores. So home delivery is probably growing quicker. And again, I think we also instigated a contactless delivery service where we could leave the order on your doorstep, take a picture, and also message you to let you know that your order was there. So again, there was nothing perishable within there. So I would say home delivery is growing quicker, but again, we were building upon a larger base for pickup, but both have been, I say, that 12 to 13x that I mentioned earlier is across both channels.
Okay, that's good to know. Interesting. Well, thank you so much, Charlie. I think we've learned some really great insights. And as I mentioned, anyone that has any further questions, unfortunately, we don't have time for any more. You can utilize the Swap Card platform, connect with Charlie directly. So thank you so much for taking the time today. And yeah, we hope you have a great week ahead and stay safe.
Thank you. Speak to you all soon.
Thanks a lot. Take care.